The flock information reporting form is an important document that needs to be sent to the processing plant with every flock of birds. The information in this form is required to meet the Safe Food for Canadians regulations, which are a set of government requirements regulated by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. This form also serves as an important communication between farmers and processors about the flock health and condition. Let's review what's expected in each of the questions in Section A. Question 1 is about medications administered at the hatchery, and these will be indicated on the hatchery report. Looking at the hatchery report, we can see that there were no medications or antibiotics administered to this flock at the hatchery. In this case, we'll check off the no box for this question. Question 2 is looking for information on the types of vaccines administered at the hatchery and those administered on-farm during the grow-out. For vaccines administered at the hatchery, this information will be found on the hatchery report. All the information you will need will be either recorded on the hatchery report or on a veterinary prescription that has been provided to you by the hatchery. After checking the Yes box, we'll move to the information in the table below. In the table, record the question number, in this case number 2. Next, record the name of the vaccine, in this case VaxiTech, in column A. If the vaccine name is not in this list, you can also type it in. Then, record the route of administration that the vaccine was given to the birds. For example, if the vaccine is given before the day of hatch, then this is an injection. Whereas if the vaccine was given on the same day as the hatch date, then this would be recorded as spray. In this case, the vaccine was administered on the day of hatch, so we'll record spray in column B. In column C, the first treatment date is recorded based on the information from the hatchery report as June 9, 2025. As this is a one-time dose, the same date can be recorded in column D to indicate the last treatment date. Next, the withdrawal period is recorded based on the information on the hatchery report. In most cases, the withdrawal time for vaccines is 21 days. Based on the withdrawal time of 21 days, the date in column F will be July 1, 2025. On the paper copy, we would write that date in, while on the electronic version, this date will populate automatically. Lastly, column G asks for the dose of vaccines administered. The dose can be recorded as 1. This dose unit reflects the manufacturer recommendations or the veterinarian prescription. For vaccines administered on farm during the grow-out, simply follow the same steps as above with the information provided by your veterinarian. Question 3 is looking for information on any medications that were given to the flock during the grow-out to treat a disease. This is something that the veterinarian would have been consulted about. These could be medications given in the feed or in the water. Since these medications are for treatment, you will have a veterinary prescription for these medications. In this flock, none of the feed medications are for treatment, and there are no additional vet prescriptions for water treatments, so we'll check the No box. If medications were given for treatment, you'd find the info you need for columns A through H in the table on the veterinary prescription. The dose you'd write here for a medication should match the veterinary prescription. The flock recovery date would be as advised by your veterinarian. Question 4 asks about any disease diagnosed during the flock grow-out where no medications were administered to treat the disease. If this is the case, only column H needs to be complete with the name of the disease and the date that the flock recovered. Only diseases that have been diagnosed by a veterinarian need to be recorded here, for example, ILT. This information can be important for inspectors at the plant to differentiate between active and scar lesions, therefore minimizing condemnations. In our case, we'll check the No box. Question 5 is asking specifically about any medications with a withdrawal period used in the last 14 days prior to shipment. To check this, reference the feed slips to see if a medication was used in the last 14 days of the grow-out. If there was, be sure to check if this medication required a withdrawal time or not. If there was, then information in columns A through G would need to be completed, using the info on the feed slip. For this flock, we can see from the feed slips for the finisher feed used in the last 14 days that there was no medication with a withdrawal used. In this case, we can check the No box. Question 6 is asking specifically about any extra label medication use in the flock. When looking at feed slips or veterinary prescriptions, this type of use will have a CG FARAD reference number recorded close to the name of the medication. Whenever there is a CG FARAD reference number, this always means that the use of this medication is extra label, and that this medication needs to be recorded as part of question number 6 on the flock information reporting form. As we can see from the feed slips for this flock, there is a CG FARAD reference number, so we had a medication which was being used in an extra label manner. This information is also located on the veterinary prescription for the feed. As a result, we'll put a check mark in the Yes box and then fill in columns A through G in the table. The medication name is Surmax, so we can enter that here in column A. Surmax was given in the feed, which goes in column B. In column C, we enter the date this ration was started, which was day 8 of production on June 17th. In column D, we enter the last date this ration was fed, which was on day 16 of production, which was June 25th. As stated on the feed slip, the withdrawal period for this ration is 4 days. This information is entered in column E. Column F will automatically generate on the electronic version, but if it doesn't, simply fill in the safe marketing date. In this case, the safe marketing date would be June 30th. Lastly, based on the information found on the feed slip, complete column G, which is the dose of the antibiotic administered. In this case, the feed slip indicated that it was included at 34 milligrams per kilogram. Remember to also include the veterinary prescription for any extra label medication use when you submit the flock information reporting form. Question 7 is asking about Category 1 medication use, which refers to either XNL use at the hatchery or Baytril use on farm. This can be verified by looking at the hatchery report where any medications would be listed, or by a veterinary prescription for medication use during the grow-out. As a reminder, the preventive use of Category 1 and 2 medications are not permitted as part of CFC's Raised by a Canadian Farmer on-farm food safety program. Following this guidance and the instructions on the flock information reporting form will help to eliminate any delays in processing your flock at the processing plant.